Today is January 27th, 2024, and there's a couple key topics I'm going to talk about. We're going to start this off with something that was completely out of the freaking blue that I had no idea on. If you can kind of see in the reflection right here is what it is. First and foremost, I have already done this way in the past and have emailed the artist whose music you're about to hear on permission to play anything, and that would be Tom McDonald. As soon as one of my moderators, who was my first ever guest on this podcast, Boogie, introduced me to his music, I was like, I gotta get that permission. And I bring that up because Twitch's bot where it detects almost copyright infringement, it's starting to identify some songs that are in my playlist. So I'm gonna kind of go back and have one playlist that I listen to whenever I'm just offline or kind of like driving, and another one where I can play it. And if there is a discrepancy where it says that I don't have that permission, then I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna tell them, no, here's the proof as to what I'm alluding to. But for the most part, like I said a while ago, about 90% of the music I listen to, I have permission from the artist. That 10% where it's going to get detected by the button. Yes, I understand the risk I take and everything, but whenever it comes to the realm of DMCA and everything else, realistically, it's not the artist who's putting the strikes on the channels. It's the labels, and it's why a lot of people are moving away from record labels and away from studios who are like, no, we own you. We own your music. And there's another song by Tom McDonald called The Music Industry, and he speaks about that. And like I said, we're going to start this off. You guys are going to be like, whoa, because it's fact. Like, the song is called Facts by Tom McDonald, featuring and a gentleman who gets a lot of heat everywhere he goes, Ben Shapiro. And if it was pronounced differently, I apologize. I'm pronouncing it how I see it. Now, I will say this about Ben. While I get a lot of his notions and everything else are relevant in things, I did say this though. There are topics where he is very knowledgeable on, and he would destroy him. There are topics I'm very knowledgeable on, and I would destroy him. But the one thing that I will always respect somebody for is them speaking about the bullshit and speaking about, the crap that's going on. We're going to be diving into this, the Super Bowl logo and the 2025 logo, as well as a little theory and everything else. I'm going to talk about the whole situation with Nintendo and Power World, and I'm going to address the shit going on with WWE, as well as whatchamacallit? Oh yeah, the shit going on in my fucking state's border. Anyways, with that, because the song is really good. With that, let's shrink this down. Just listen.
They call me offensive, controversial. It's only two genders, boys and girls. They can't cancel my message because I'm the biggest independent rapper in the whole freaking world. Claim that I'm racist, yeah, alright. I'm not ashamed because I'm white. If every Caucasian's a bigot, I guess every Muslim's a terrorist. Every liberal is right. I don't want to talk to folks who don't get it. Go woke, go broke, no hope, it's pathetic. Pro-choice, pronouns, pro-love, you're progressive. But you ain't pro-gun, no one to protect it. Where the American flags at? Remember when people would hang those? They've been taken down, they all been replaced with BLM flags or a rainbow. This ain't rap, this ain't money, cars and clothes. We ain't selling drugs, we ain't gonna overdose. We ain't pushing guns, ain't promoting stripper poles. We won't turn your sons into thugs or your daughters into hoes. I don't care if I offend you. I was put here to upset you. You can cry and you can scream. You can riot in the streets. You defunded the police. Now there's no one to protect you. I hope I offend you. I ask myself what would Ben do. Let's just keep it real, facts. Don't care how you feel, man.
Let's look at the stats. I've got the facts. My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a wap. Dog, it's a yarmulke, homie, no cap. Look at the graphs. Look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You go into prison, I'm on television. Dog, no one knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section all woke Karens. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Nikki, take some notes. I just did this for fun. All my people download this. Let's get a Billboard #1.
This ain't rap, this ain't money, cars and clothes. We ain't selling drugs, we ain't gonna overdose. We ain't pushing guns, ain't promoting stripper poles. We won't turn your sons into thugs or your daughters into hoes. I don't care if I offend you. I was put here to upset you. You can cry and you can scream, you can riot in the streets. You defunded the police, now there's no one to protect you. I hope I offend you. I ask myself what would Ben do? Let's just keep it real, facts. Don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man who don't respect you. You mad, you mad, you mad. I guess it's cool to be the victim, well, I'ma be the man. You sad, you sad, you sad. You just try to get attention, being triggered's all you have. You mad, you mad, you mad. You blame everybody else for every problem that you can. You sad, you sad, you sad. I will never say I'm sorry, I ain't taking nothing back. I don't care if I offend you. I was put here to upset you. You can cry and you can scream, you can riot in the streets. You defunded the police, now there's no one to protect you. I hope I offend you. I ask myself what would Ben do? Let's just keep it real, facts. Don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man who don't respect you.
I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man who's gonna respect you. Actually, we'll put that right here because of the next couple things. And credit to his girlfriend, Nova. He wrote a song, like a love song called Ghost to her. And I'm telling you, like, I played that thing like 30 times whenever I heard it. Because it's so freaking good. But I will say this. I did not have Ben Shapiro in a rap video with the #1 independent artist in the freaking world, Tom McDonald. Because, again, I respect his opinion on things. You can have an opinion about things all day long. I'll respect it so long as you show that respect right back. If you don't show that respect, then we have an issue. And I'm gonna kind of touch on this real quick. I'm in several, and I mean several Discords. Move that over here because I want to touch on that a little bit. I am in several Discords, like damn near capped. I will give everybody the time of day and the notion of day and everything else that it entails. But one thing I will not ever tolerate. And homie, if you're listening, I want you to understand that when you said this, there was a very good chance I would have flown directly off the handle if you wanted to touch on the topic. You said, and I quote, "There is no reason for a marriage to happen." I highly disagree. Because even like long before biblical times, there were always weddings and courtships and things like that. Even if you get married by the justice of the peace via courthouse, you're still wearing some form of notion saying, I'm dressing up to wed my significant other. So you saying that you don't think that there's a notion or a reason to have a wedding or a will or stuff like that, You are out your goddamn fucking little inconceived mind. And yes, this might offend a couple of people, and I don't care because your feelings are a moot point to me. Especially on this topic. I have been married to my wife for coming upon 17 years in April. You're not going to change my opinion on this. You're not. Which is why I say it's a moot point. Because the significance of a wedding is so that two people can actually start living their lives today. Like living their lives in the manner as they best can be. But again, I respect everybody's opinion. Just don't come at me with that bullshit. Now, speaking of bullshit, if this plays out the way that everybody thinks it's gonna play out with this bullshit, I want y'all to pay attention to this right here. All right? Ravens colors, 49ers colors. What do we have here? Who won that game, by the way? Oh, it was the Chiefs and the Eagles last year, right? Kind of ironic that the Chiefs won. Oh, let's take a look back. Well, we got the LA Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. Got the LA Rams and the Bengals. I mean, if this shit's scripted and they're already predetermining who's going to be in the Super Bowl, as you can see here, it's starting to essentially piss off a lot of people because you have a franchise in the Detroit Lions that have been screwed over by piss poor officiating, by piss poor management on their coach's side, directed by the NFL in its entirety, and drafted by the NFL in its entirety to their teams, or to their team, I should say. And they have been screwed time and time and motherfucking time again. Because when people sit there and say, oh, my team's gone, all you need to do is just look at the logo and see who's going. And here's another thing. Ravens are number 1 seed. 49ers are number 1 seed. The conference championships are on Sunday, January 28th. And we'll see if this is gonna play out. And I'm hoping this does not play out. I kind of want the Chiefs and the Lions in the Super Bowl because you have Taylor Swift versus Eminem. To put that in perspective. All right. That's pro game. Let's talk about fun game. Or not so fun, I should say. Nintendo is wanting to sue Power. Well, I mean, let's first, before we take a look, why does Nintendo want want to sue Power? And there's a gentleman by the name of Richard Hogue, who does a really damn good job of laying out everything in its entirety and explaining everything in its entirety with why, you know, why certain things are laid out. But here's the issue. They state that, right? Just because there's quote unquote similarities, Nintendo, if they push forth on this lawsuit, could actually face some serious things from Sega on Sonic because of how certain things look. I'm going to tell you now the reason why they want to sue Power World is because Nintendo is a AAA studio. They're very reputable, right? They have thousands of employees. And they've released a multitude of Pokemon games. You ready for this? All right, let's take a look. You have red and green, blue, yellow, another one, red and blue, gold and silver, crystal, ruby and sapphire, fire red and leaf green, emerald, Colosseum, XD, Gate of Darkness, diamond and pearl, platinum, heart gold, and soul silver. Ironic that this is like that. Let's take a look. Oh, let's hover. Hmm. Black and white. Black 2 and white 2. X and Y. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Sun and Moon. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Let's see. That one. And that one. Okay. Let's go Pikachu and let's go Eevee. Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield, the Isle of Armor, which is a DLC. Sword and Shield, the Crown Tundra, which is another DLC. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Legend Arceus. Scarlet and Violet. The Teal Mask. And the Indigo Disc. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 games with 4 DLCs. So 29 items in total. All right. So how many Pokemon games has Nintendo sold? 480 million units worldwide. This is its an entirety, all right? This is its like full out entirety. So you mean to tell me from 1996 to 2023. Almost what 30 years, so like 27 years or so. Y'all have amassed 480 million copies. Good job. That is not easy to do. And let's take a look at one more thing. Nintendo has roughly around 7,300 people. Meanwhile, the developer's studio for Power World. I've heard probably around like between 10 to 30, maybe even 50 employees. And they released a game that has, I don't know, maybe we'll just take a wild guess. I want to say about 5+ mil. Okay. 7 mil. And it's a 10 to 50 person studio. And they released a game better than Nintendo. And it's why they are pissed. If anything, Nintendo or any representative of Nintendo, I want you to listen very carefully. I have the utmost respect of the way that Japanese commerce is supposed to run. What I do not respect is your notion of going after a little guy. That actually kind of goes against your ethics of business in your Ministry of Commerce. Whenever you are fostering discontent to a competitor, quote unquote, that is a smaller size by far in comparison to your studio, you look like a bully. And with your vast pocketbook, you're going to try to bully them into submission. And I'm going to tell you straightforward, all you little Pokemon fanboys and fangirls and everybody else that wants Power World to burn and crash, ask yourself one question. Are you still having fun with that same reskinned game where another copy of it and another version, same storyline, same mechanic, and all the other stuff is bound to come out later on? Are you still having fun with that? And if you say you are, I'm going to call your bluff. I'm going to say, all right, play it and stream it for a year. A year straight. 5 days a week. Monday through Friday. Tuesday through Saturday. Wednesday through Sunday. Thursday through Monday. Friday through Tuesday. Etc. 5 days a week. We'll go 4 hours. 4 hours out of those 5 days a week. Or 4 hours for 5 days a week. That's 20 hours playing a game, right? I guarantee you, by the end of that third month in playing it, you're going to be switching games. Because you will have done everything there is to do. Or you're going to get bored with it. Or you're just going to lose your mind. And it will not be enjoyable. And I'm not talking about, swapping from one Pokemon game to another. I'm talking about pick one we'll go from 2010 to current. Pick one of those. Play it for a year straight. Because then you're going to understand, oh, well, Power World has building. Power World has bases. I don't need to have battles with pals in order for them to level up different skills, and myself included if I'm just right next to them. Oh, I don't need to do this. There's more finer mechanics within Power World. But yet you're gonna be defending Nintendo and everything else whenever they try to beat a smaller company into submission. Speaking of trying to beat people into a submission, this one goes directly to our stupid idiot president of the United States, Joe fucking Biden. And FBI and CIA, I do not give a shit if you are listening or if you are watching or even if you're monitoring anything that I say or do. Because I know you've done this in the past. I know if you tried to fucking tell me in the past. I've caught you fuckers with the drone over my house in the past. And I've caught you fuckers parked next to, like, down the street in the past. Here's the thing about what I am going to say. Is if you have people coming across and they are considered able-bodied males within fighting age for whatever military, and they are not seeking asylum to this country, they are trying to find their way into whatever safe haven they can to plot. That in of itself is considered an invasion of a sovereignty of a state and nation. Now, whenever the United States and whatever governmental organization deems that it is no longer able to do so, the states, at its sole discretion, can say, hey, federal government, we have an issue. Our borders have been compromised. I feel you're not doing your job. Can you help? And when the federal government goes, no, you can go fuck yourself. Well, whenever you want to go through and you want to disregard the sanctity of the nation's well-being, there are certain articles of the United States Constitution that exist, mainly in two of them. Article 4, Section 4, quote, the United States shall law entirety, which is law abiding, which is basically enforcement by law. Shall is a legal verbiage word. Section 4, quote, the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republic form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion and on application of legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened against domestic violence. It's why each state has its own guard. It's why each one has its own little notion. When we as Texans feel our borders are being violated and basically mistreated like a hooker, our governor has it in his soul, or his or her, excuse me, if it was ever a female governor, in their own sole discretion to enact certain things. And that is what Greg Abbott is doing. And also, finally, Article 1, Section 10, powers denied to the state. The U.S. cannot deny the state's own constitution. That's it. At the end of the day, each state has its duty and obligation to its citizens to safeguard them. And I'm going to tell you straightforward right now, and people are not going to like what I'm going to have to say about this. If, for some reason, the armed forces of the United States decide to go marching down my fucking street and try to enact martial law without just cause or without doing, I guarantee you it's not going to be a pretty sight. Because I will be radioing to whomever's in charge, come get them. They're laying in the street. Because I am more accurate and well versed than a lot of people give me credit for. I want y'all to ponder that one. Till then, y'all have a good one. And Biden, go fuck yourself. Signed, sincerely, a pissed Marine Corps veteran that's tired of seeing this country go the way that it is. Y'all have a good one.